My name is Anne-Marie Wilkinson. I'm at Rodney Hairdressing in Chartwell Square in Hamilton. I've been here for 15 years and I own the salon now. We have a very strong training structure. We have all our apprentices are set out guidelines as to when they need to train. We do a minimum of 3 hours training individuals each week, as well as they expect to do training in salon. They have goals in place. We do a calendar which they know exactly when they're training and how long they're due for, and different things that we organise throughout the week. And we also make sure that we're also giving feedback, and there's constant things going on and they know exactly when it's planning, what's going to happen and where the next step is.
I've always wanted to be a hairdresser since I was little. The hairdressing industry is just changing constantly all the time.
I started working here as a front desk manager, and after about a year I was just addicted to it. There's just so many opportunities to grow and learn.
It wasn't always the first option, but I'm really glad I did it. It's like art on here. You can paint on it when you're colouring, you can just create shapes when you're cutting.
I like working as a team. I love working with all the girls.
There's always new collections coming out and new colours coming out and those sorts of things, so it's just really exciting.
Always seeing different people doing different things every day.
I think it can take you everywhere, like all over the world. You can share your skills and what you've learned with others and take what they've learned and, swap stories, so it's good.
A good hairdresser is somebody who listens.
Understanding your client and looking at who they are and what they are into and all that stuff, and not just giving them a hairstyle that they don't want and that's not going to suit them.
Someone that's a really good listener who listens to what the client's wants and needs are rather than what they want to do on the client.
It's my one thing is if you don't listen to your client, you're never going to get what they want.
Training for me is part of where hairdressers need to be at. We really need to make sure they've got good structure in there, and for me in a business it's so important to make sure our business runs effectively and really productively, and we have good quality work and services going there, and if you don't train you don't get that.
We're rostered on to do a training session once a week, and it's a 3-hour session in the morning. We get models in and we just work through the evidences that we need to collect for the Aotearoa, so that when we do go and set our assessments we're completely prepared for them.
Our trainers are constantly there watching over every little thing that we do and just checking that we're doing everything right.
We generally try to practice the training while she's not here, so when she comes back she's real surprised at how well we've done.
We feel comfortable with our trainers being able to talk to them if we've got any questions. We can bring them up any time of the day.
It's just amazing, and we're getting the best experience being one-on-one with customers all the time, and just helps us learn so much faster than if we were just sitting in the classroom somewhere.
Without the training, without the backbone in the industry, we won't have the whole culture of being good at what we do. They'll just treat hairdressers like they don't know anything. The culture is a really important part of cementing who you are as a salon.
We've got an amazing team here. They're all really capable, and as you can hear they're really chatty.
We've got the seniors to look up to, and you've got people at your own level, and so you're seeing what you're going to become.
I trained elsewhere, not here at Rodney Wayne, and here they have a high standard, so it was really hard getting me out of my habits that I had before.
We've got a massive client base here, and it's just because I think everybody feels so comfortable coming in here. As an apprentice, I would help out with colour work and things like that. I sit in on lots of consultations.
We set up the salon, we put the combs out, the towels, we put the towels on, make sure there's enough towels for the day, turn the coffee machine on, put the capes out, get the whole salon set up so that if someone walked in, we're all ready to go.
I always believe that stylists need to learn something new every day. It is a really important part of who we are.
I really like training on the job because it gives you the skills that you need to learn in life.
I did 6 months at a training school before this, and I think I've learnt more in the first few months I was here than I did all the time I was there.
As a stylist, we're expected to give new fashion ideas, new looks to clients, and without that constant training and the constant feeling that they're learning and growing and having the opportunity to learn more, they're not going to be able to give that to their client.
We've got about 13 girls who work in this salon, and they've all got different ways of doing things.
If you're finding it hard to learn something one way, then someone else can come along and say, hey, what about trying this way?
It's really great to be able to see what works for you and looking around at different ways that I can achieve those results. on that client.
If you're not feeding them information, they're not going to grow, give new ideas, and they're not going to be able to pass those ideas on to their clients. We have quite a good incentive programs right from the bottom end with training. We use a star system that they will have stars that they can use in their training. They can lose stars if they don't get their models organised, and they can gain stars if they do really great training. Also, in the bigger picture with the business that we're in, being a Rodney Wayne franchise group, there's some really great incentive programs for the people who train really well, the apprentices who do well, and that will help them to feel like they've got lots of little things to go for.
I won the Year 2 Apprentice of the Year with the HITO.
I won the HITO Regional Apprentice of the Year for Midland Region.
I also got the Rodney Wayne Apprentice of the Year.
I've also won the Rodney Wayne Highly Commended Technician of the Year for North Island.
My trainers really pushed me and really helped me to take pride in my work.
I think it's really helpful to enter competitions, whereas if you want to get somewhere in life and you just want to get out of just being in the salon, then it's probably the best way to go, because it sort of gets you well known in the community.
Just that little bit of a pat on the back and that bit of recognition goes a long way with them when they're growing, when they're learning, and as they're stepping up through their ranks. And it feels like they've got somewhere to go, and there's lots of things that they can achieve to make them want to go somewhere.
When taking on a new apprentice, the qualities that we like to see in that new apprentice is confidence, enthusiasm, dedication and commitment.
If someone wanted to become an apprentice, then I would suggest that you bring your CV into the salon, talk to the girls in the salon, get to know them, get to know their faces so that they're familiar with you.
Come in with a smile and make them realise that you're really passionate about the industry and that you really want to get into it.
I was working in the retail side of things, and as I came here and worked as a front desk manager, after about a year or so I just fell in love with the industry, and I just begged her take me on, and she did, so yeah, it was really great.
The biggest challenge would be motivation. It's very easy for the apprentices to get sidetracked, lots of things going on in their lives, things happening. We've found that constantly making them feel like they're growing every day, even just learning little bits in the salon and giving them feedback on what they're doing and asking them how they're going and what they're learning as they're going along. It's in the motivation and stuff that they want to learn more and they want to keep going.
I'd really love to get on the Rodney Wayne artistic team, which is all the best hairdressers from around New Zealand.
I just want to get overseas and just see how they're all doing it out there and how the other hairdressers overseas work, how they do things, and then just bring it back to New Zealand.
I would like to teach hairdressing myself in the way that my trainers have taught me, because they have really been an inspiration for my career.
I'd love to carry on with hairdressing and just get involved in lots of fashion shows.
It's not very often that we have issues with people not wanting to train, because they know that they see people beside them going fast and they go, I want to go up there too, and just that culture of what we do with training helps to keep them motivated, so we're very lucky in that respect. I've always worked very well and very close in with HITO. I totally believe of what the systems they put in place and how the whole process works.
The guidelines that come through from the HITO are excellent. I think we do need guidelines and processes in place, otherwise you wouldn't have that structure that you would be able to follow.
With the Polytech in our area, the three of us all work so consistently, so well together, that they all complement each other to make sure that we're doing everything right. I really love the new modern apprenticeships. I think that it makes the apprentices and the employers and the trainers really accountable for what they're doing.
I would definitely recommend an apprenticeship. I've done my first year at Tech full time, and I really struggled with it.
When you're sort of studying and stuff, you don't really tend to get the whole effect of what life's actually like.
There's just so many opportunities to learn and grow, and you're going to get the best training here.
So you learn not only how to live off your pay, but you learn how to deal with public, you learn how to deal with people, you learn how to deal with workmates and everything like that. So I think apprenticeship's the best way to go.
It's one of those industries where it's constantly changing, it's really diverse, and you're not just going to become a hairdresser at the end of it, you're going to be the best hairdresser that you can be.
The staff have better respect for you when you show that you want to help them in the future and you've got that passion for what they are doing, and you're not just treating them like a number that just comes in, makes the money and leaves the shop.